So he won't have too much trouble dealing with that Garbodor early on. Especially if he can get a Blastoise turn 2 before Ethan even gets the Garbodor.
Definitely, definitely. It seems like I think it's all based around if you can get if you can save your tool scrappers for moments when you can kind of go off and maybe not knock out the Garbodor, but get something built up to knock out an Yveltal or a Darkrai and just kind of not have to worry about the Garbodor from then on.
It'll also depend on how many tool scrappers Bidier plays, and if he plays Dowsing Machine, which I assume he does. So he can time his rain dances to KO the Yveltals.
Yeah.
And he's Skyless for a Tropical Beach. Pretty ideal start for him.
Yeah, a little confusion there, but Skyling for Tropical Beach, as I always say, as long as you can have, no matter really what happens, as long as the Blastoise player can have a Squirtle and a Beach on turn 1, they can't really ask for much more.
Yep.
We see people cutting, like not hitting an energy on turn 1, maybe not hitting a Black Kyurem, but it really doesn't matter, especially going first. If you can stick a Squirtle and a Beach, you're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, even if he can get this Keldeo up early, I wouldn't totally hate him using the Keldeo just to wipe out this first Yveltal. Maybe Ethan won't be able to respond with another one, but that's definitely the riskier play.
Like next turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. If you can get the Blastoise out next turn, which happens pretty often off of a Beach turn 1, I think that's totally fine, especially because, you know, the matchup used to work in a way where you would scrapper their Garbodor and then load up a big Keldeo.
Right.
And that can't really happen anymore because now Yveltal can respond to you so quickly. But if Bidier can just get the turn 2 Keldeo and just press an advantage early on, knock out an Yveltal and kind of force Ethan to have quite a lot of stuff, I think it's totally fine.
Exactly. And Black Kyurem will definitely out-resource Yveltal. Even though Yveltal can sort of keep up, 180 is a pretty annoying number to reach.
Definitely. It also will be pretty difficult for Bidier to knock out the Yveltal with the Keldeo. It's more realistic that he could knock it out with a Black Kyurem.
Yep.
But the problem there then is that Ethan can stick a tool scrapper or a tool on the Garbodor, activating Garbotoxin. Bidier will have to find his scrapper to really be able to attack again.
Right. And if Bidier plays catchers, he can also tool scrapper and catcher in the same turn. So you can just wipe out the Garbodor threat completely in an ideal world.
Definitely. I'm not sure what the line looks like for the Garbodor in Ethan's deck. I know that most players are playing 1-1, but some are going to 2-2. I wouldn't be surprised if Ethan was playing 2-2. Do you have any opinions on...
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of 2-2. 1-1 just seems like just not enough. Either commit to it or not.
Right. Yeah, there's the old, like...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're going to be dropping off a gold ticket.
A little bit of an announcement going on, but... Yeah, I definitely think that it's kind of just a difficult decision because you have more consistency for getting the Garbodor when you run 2-2 and sticking it, but you just have to give up some other space there. And when you run a 1-1, obviously, if it's prize or gets knocked out, you're just done. So
yeah, it's also much more difficult to find a 1-1 since Darkrai Yveltal doesn't usually play Heavy Ball or Level Ball. So they're using Ultra Ball to find Yveltal, Darkrai, Sableye, your Garbodor line.
Definitely.
You're spreading yourself too thin.
Definitely. And not to mention that, especially in this area, I think that I still like 1-1, but I think that you can definitely play 2-2 more so in the Northwest, as Bidier spills his deck on the table.
Bidier's Ultra Rare, Execute, and Ultra Ball.
He does play the Execute? Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, what's been big here is just Plasma and Fairies and Blastoise. So another reason why you would run 1-1 is you would say, you know, I don't really... I only need it in one matchup Blastoise or one matchup Plasma, but there's so many ability-based decks here that...
Yeah, it became even better with the release of XY.
Definitely. And we see the second energy onto the Keldeo there, but I don't think Bidier is going to be able to get the... Oh, wait. Oh, he's beaching. Okay. So, yeah, no turn 2 Blastoise from Bidier. Kind of unfortunate, but Ethan is not super pressing anything either. You know, a Yveltal with 1 energy and a Muscle Band on board can definitely go somewhere, but...
Yeah, Bidier's baby Black Kyurem start is actually going to go the distance here because Ethan will have to flip a catcher's head to like really do anything, because KOing the Black Hero won't affect the prize race.
Definitely. I mean, and Ethan, he sticks to Garbodor, but he doesn't look like he's a tool. Just gonna go ahead and Shauna for 5 there, and yeah, Bidier reading Shauna, but yeah, definitely. You know, Bidier does have a slower start, but he does have that Black Kyurem EX or Black Kyurem non-EX active, as you said, so just forcing Ethan to really just spend an extra turn knocking out, taking 1 prize, and just walking right into a big Black Kyurem or a big N from Bidier.
Now, Buffalon might be able to save the day here, depending on how he's able to set up his energy and if he draws his muscle bands at the right time. But even Buffalon still has some trouble KOing Black Kyurem.
Yeah. The magic number, the 180, is just so much harder to hit.
Right.
Because Buffalon does 120 base, you add a muscle band to it, it'll be doing 140, and then you add a laser and a Verbank, it'll be doing 170.
Yep.
And Ethan correctly chooses to Y-Cyclone there, once again bouncing the energy to that Buffalon and making sure that the Yveltal, if it gets knocked out this turn, is not losing all that much.
So Bidier is checking out his hand. Can only really see an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, I don't see the way to get the Blastoise. Usually you can see a Skyla or a Candy, but I see an Ultra Ball, but I don't see a way to actually evolve into the Blastoise. Looks like Pokemon Catcher was the top deck for Bidier there. There is a Tool Scrapper.
Yeah. I would like to see Bidier attach a water to the Keldeo and try to catch the Garbodor, I think, and KO it with Keldeo for 110. So just eliminate that threat for at least 2 turns.
Definitely.
Probably more, assuming Ethan plays 2-2, which he might not even do that.
Definitely.
So Bidier ends.
So we're going to see an end going on the 5 for Ethan, which isn't that big of a deal, but again, taking that 1 prize knockout there will hurt him later. He'll go into 3 prizes and then 1 prize, which is both bad for actually winning the game and taking more knockouts, and bad for getting into rough situations with N. But actually, Bidier's played 2 ends as a Skyla on top, so still has a reasonable shot at it. And there's the Ultra Ball. Do we see the rare candy? We do not. With the frequency that Bidier is drawing these Tool Scrappers, he's probably running 2.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like Bidier attached that Lightning to Black Kyurem this turn.
Yeah, he didn't have a water in his hand, I don't think. So Bidier is kind of playing it safe, playing it kind of slow and conservatively. I agree with you. I would have liked to have seen him take care of the Garbodor threat if he had the chance. I would have liked to even maybe just seen him Catcher and then N, and just, you know, if you're probably going to hit a water energy.
Especially since Ethan doesn't have Darkrai yet either. And Bidier was unlikely to get the Blastoise out this turn.
Yeah.
All things considered, so he'd buy himself another turn.
For sure. The bad part about that is, again, if you miss the catcher, you miss the catcher and it sucks. And if you use the catcher and then miss, you have kind of used up the catcher and your opportunity to knock out the Garbodor, because Ethan can probably find a Floatstone next turn.
Right.
But I still think in every time you go for it there. There's another Trubbish, so we do confirm he runs 2-2, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue for Bidier.
Yeah, he's going to have to be really careful with his Tool Scrappers.
Definitely. I think in an ideal world he would just try and take a knockout before a Tool Scrapper, just to try and conserve them, because there's lots of times where you might not be able to use your Dowsing Machine for a Tool Scrapper, have to discard your Tool Scrapper of a Juniper, etc., so.
Definitely. So Ethan Dowsing Machines. Not sure what he'll be looking for here. Maybe a supporter. Yep. He gets the N. So that's not a great sign, having to Dowsing Machine for N. And he discards a Muscle Band with the Dowsing Machine as well. That's unfortunate. What, did you drop a Sableye on the bench after that? He just dropped another Sableye. I would have liked him to discard that Sableye and not definitely. Not that Muscle Band. Muscle Band's seems like such a simple card, it just adds 20 damage, but it's just so important to the format in general, and just been an extremely powerful card. Yeah, and there's even a Buffalon out to attach it to, or the Garbodor. Yeah, that's actually strange that he didn't attach it to the Garbodor. I wonder what his thought process there is. I don't think he needs another Sableye on the board. We see Ethan drawing Enhanced Hammer, which is a completely dead card in this matchup. I think he's already discarded 1 as well, so he might run 2 or 3. So he's Dark Patching to the Sableye here. And that energy is sort of useless unless he energy switches
I think
it.
he's going to energy switch because he can't even retreat the Yveltal, right?
It looks like he'll be Y-Cycloning. Probably the Dark to the Bouffalant.
Yeah, I gotta imagine he'll just attach the Dark there. Not only does it leave more energy on the Yveltal for if it wants to attack again, but it also makes it so that if he gets in a rough position later, he can energy switch it off the Bouffalant. There's no reason to really have two DCs loaded up on the Bouffalant, especially in a deck that you know does not play Enhanced Hammer.
Yeah.
But we do see Ethan, by taking that knockout, he goes back down to an even price count.
Yep.
So this can be important. Bidier is still struggling to get things out. If he doesn't hit the Blastoise this turn or kind of get some action going this turn, I think Ethan could just take over this game just from having more resources.
Yeah, definitely. Bidier now faces the threat of a catcher on his Squirtle as well, which would be very bad.
That, I think, would probably just end the game right there.
Yeah. So he choruses for 7. It's pretty good. Hopefully he'll get the Blastoise this time.
Yeah, you gotta hope to get the Blastoise with a 7, especially when you've used a fair bit of resources. You can see Bidier's discard pile is much thinner than Ethan's, but he has gone through a bit of his deck, so we'll see what he draws here. And the other thing too is, like, as I was saying, I think if Ethan gets the Squirrel knockout here, he's in such a good position to win. But the other thing is that Bidier can just find the Squirtle the next turn and then Black Ballista 3 times. But there's the Blastoise.
All right.
So now we're going somewhere. I do see a catcher in his hand, but I don't see an energy.
I think there's one water.
One water? Okay. Again, I if he doesn't have another way, I guess he's considering something at least. Okay, so he's superior. So I think
that's certainly not ideal, but it'll probably get him a Black Ballista this turn. So he'll take that.
Yeah, again, he's going down to a low amount of cards in his hand and using a resource to get 2 energy back. But I think that's fine.
I think taking 2 prizes pretty much negates any worry about hand size.
And Ethan's just not really in a position to respond here because, as we said, the math on Bouffalant does not work out.
He's going to have to hope to stick with Tool this turn, or he's just going to get Black Ballisted again.
And
not bad.
Yeah, then I guess it's not ideal because Ethan's also at 4 and you're resetting Bidier's hand to the same size, but there's that Tails on the catcher.
So Ethan's definitely praying to get a Floatstone here.
Yeah, it's funny how these matches just switch like this. We saw Ethan in not a commanding lead, but Ethan just needs Bidier to whiff for a couple more turns, and then Bidier hits it and is now just really in control depending on what he draws at this end. Now it's Ethan who's on the back foot trying to recover, and I guess a tool and any kind of attack, but especially a laser attack, or an attack with a laser on this Black Kyurem would be really where he wants to be, and just try and hope that he can lock the Black Kyurem there for a couple turns, because again with the tool Keldeo wouldn't be able to rush in, but
absolutely.
It doesn't look like he hit it. You can see some signs of frustration.
This is just showing how Blastoise will mow you down.
Yeah, definitely.
If you give it any chance at all.
And now Bidier has 5 cards in hand after this draw step, and you got to believe he has 3 Superiors left, 2, maybe 3 Professor's Letter, another 2 or 3 Skyla to hit it.
Yeah, he definitely drew a Water, a Level Ball. Looks like maybe a Full Art Juniper.
I see an Electric as well.
Electric, okay.
I also think Bidier is playing correct here. If you, when the position you're in, you definitely have to play the Level Ball for a Squirtle. I think he might get a Jirachi, I guess, but I would. Okay, so yeah, I would like to see a Squirtle. Just to, he's already in a leading position, and now he just needs to cover his bases and make sure nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, this makes it even more brutal for Ethan. He can actually attach just 2 Water to the Keldeo if he wants. KO the Bouffalant with that.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. It's kind of the one weakness of Blastoise is that if you play against a deck with a lot of non-EXs, you can be in a bad position because you can't Black Ballista 6 times. So, which is why some of the Flareon decks from this past year have gotten kind of popular, and the other non-EX decks. So I think if Bidier can just knock knock it out here with a Secret Sword, it'll just be huge for him. Especially because he can. I think he has 3 in there. Or he just took 3.
Yeah.
So he can load up both essentially.
Yeah. So it looks like he's doing the Secret Sword plan. Thinking about it a little bit.
Probably just going over the math correctly. It does take 4 energy to knock out the Boufflant. Thanks to Boofer.
So this is good because even if he manages, or if Ethan manages to KO the Keldeo with an Yveltal, Bidier will be able to KO in response with Black Kyurem. And Ethan will be pretty much out of resources at that point.
Definitely. Again, it's good that that prize Bidier, or that knockout Bidier just took was only for 1 prize. But I still feel like it's going to be very difficult because not only does Ethan have a bunch of non-EXs on the board, but as you said, if the only way that he can really gain an advantage here is by a big Yveltal knockout, which I think will take 80.
It takes 8 energy, I believe. But if he has Muscle Band or Laser Burbank, less.
Yeah, so he's still going to kind of need a lot because he'll need... Yeah, I guess we'll see what he draws with the Shauna. Shauna also... I love Shauna as a card, but not the best when you're just
I'm not convinced on Shauna.
Not a big fan?
Not a big fan.
There's a DCE, a Floatstone. And now Bidier has put Ethan in the position where, although Garbotoxin is relevant, Bidier has a Keldeo's doing 110. He has a Black Kyurem on the bench that only needs 1 more energy that he can touch from his hand to knock out anything.
And it looks like Bidier will just be able to take that 1 turn of not being able to use Rain Dance and just be able to charge the Black Kyurem, and it won't matter anyway. Yeah,
if Ethan chooses to Junk Hunt here, Bidier can just attach to the Black Kyurem, knock out the Sableye with the Keldeo, and then Ethan will have to have a way to get a knockout and a catcher heads.
Yep.
There's a Junk Hunt.
Yep. It's not looking good for Ethan.
Yeah, I don't really think he had many other options there, but... he does have another non-EX. He has that other Sableye there, so... What can happen is that he can try and force Bidier to take another non-EX prize and go into 1 prize, but... Even then, I feel like the Black Kyurem... Ethan is not going to be threatening that Keldeo unless he hits something very good off this end here, so...
Yeah, the more turns Bidier gets, the worse it is for Ethan as well. Because he can just manually attach even if he doesn't draw Tool Scrap or whatever.
Definitely. Yeah, it's
alright, so
there's the quick Secret Sword. No attach for Bidier though.
True.
So that Bidier will need to find energy. He is gonna have 5 cards. Or he has 5? No, he's gonna have 5, so.
Yeah.
So there's the laser. I thought that was the catcher. Those are the laser heads.
Heads, yep. And another N. So that puts Bidier down to 2.
Ethan is doing everything he needs to do.
Yeah.
It's just going to be hard because the problem is that unless Ethan gets a knockout this turn, Bidier can just afford to end next turn. So Ethan's definitely looking for going into 4 here. He's definitely looking for just some kind of action. He might even not want to knock out the Keldeo this turn. I think he kind of wants to get a few things set up, but he definitely wants to take a catcher KO on the Black Kyurem.
I think it's pretty important to get rid of Chocolate Beach here as well.
Definitely.
Because Bidier will just take that awkward turn and Beach.
Yeah, put 60 on his Keldeo from Poison and have 7 cards in his hand. I feel like Ethan's played quite a few ends here, but maybe that's just on Bidier's side. I'm not sure how many are left in Ethan's deck.
I think Ethan's played 2 because he Dowsing Machine 1. So.
Okay. He Dowsing Machine 4-1?
Yeah, 4-1.
Okay. Ethan looking through his discard pile. Looks like he might just be preparing to Junk Hunt, which will be unfortunate if he doesn't have an attacker to put onto the bench.
Yep. That looks like the plan.
And there's a Band and a Dark Patch.
I'm not sure about that. Why isn't he getting Dowsing Machine?
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him get a Dazzling Machine here. It's possible that he already has a supporter in his hand.
Yeah.
And just knows that he won't have all that many cards in hand, but Dazzling Machine would have opened up his options and given him the most consistency.
And Bidier wakes up there, which is really bad for Ethan.
Oh, that's huge. So now any knockout
Yep.
for Bidier is gonna do it. Ethan draws his card. So I mean, I think the way Ethan can win here is if he can get a knockout on the Black Kyurem, or if he can get a knockout on the Keldeo and end Bidier down to 1. Because I mean, Bidier's chances of drawing 2 cards and hitting a water energy aren't actually that good. So
yeah, he does have Execute though, so that gives him more superior energy retrieval outs.
There's the Juniper. Don't know why Ethan's shuffling his deck, but there's the Juniper. And you gotta believe that he's looking for the catcher here. And he does draw one, so a heads here could be a big game, but...
Let's see. So he's doing 140. Yeah, that'll knock it out. Oh, he gets the heads.
And there's the head, so...
All right.
I mean, a simple Scrapper and a bunch of energy on like Keldeo could do it. Bidier will have 5 cards in hand, but I do see Superior too. I said it's a Jirachi, I think, not a Superior, but
yeah.
it's Ethan with another Dark Patch, and there's getting rid of the beach. So Ethan's doing everything I think he can do to try and win this game, but
might be able to take this one back.
But it's gonna be so the Keldeo will need 3 more energy to knock out the Yveltal.
Or 2. It's at 130 right now.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't really matter. Oh, I don't like sending up to Keldeo.
I mean, he can't rush in though.
Well, he should send up the Squirtle because if he has to retreat, he loses energy attachments.
True.
And if Ethan knocks out the Squirtle, it's not game changing. And then if Bidier can attach 1 this turn and then 1 next turn, he'll be able to knock out the Yveltal.
True, and I do see that Bidier does have the energy. One of the energies there, and he has a Sycamore in his hand, so you gotta believe he's gonna get the other one. It will be quite the crime if he does not get the other. I see a letter in his hand, but I don't know if he actually has any energy left in his deck.
Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
Because even if he got the Scrapper to win, he could rush in anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference.
Right. He must not have the energy in his deck.
He attached 1.
Oh, right, he attached 1, sorry. He needs to find the Scrapper.
It's looking like he'll have to retreat here.
Yeah, I think he just has to... Wow, what a rough position to be in for Bidier.
Yep.
Gonna retreat, send up the Squirtle. No beach even left, but does have quite the full hand.
He's a Skyla in his hand, so assuming Ethan can't knock out the an EX this turn, Bidier can win next turn.
Skyla for the Tool Scrapper.
Yeah. Or if Ethan ends again. I don't think he has any more, but
he has an end in his hand.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what Ethan's tapping on the table there, but I definitely want to see an end from him.
Yep.
Okay, so he's playing an Ultra Ball. I think that it's I totally agree with you. Having to retreat that Keldeo was such a huge mistake that just if that hadn't happened and this exact situation, the board would be exactly the same except for that Keldeo would have 6 energy on it.
He would have
or 5 energy on it, excuse me.
KO on board next
and would
turn.
just have a KO next turn if he draws a single water energy. And Ethan is playing the N. So this is going to be big. It's going to be pretty back and forth. A pretty good game for this matchup we've seen a lot since Yveltal's been released, really.
I think Bidier has only played 1 Sycamore, so his outs aren't too bad here. Yep, and Ethan just knocks out the Squirtle.
And now Black Kyurem active. Draw step for Bidier.
That's not a bad play. I don't think Ethan can KO the Black Kyurem next turn. He's 6.
Yeah. Choosing 160 now?
Yeah. Oh, I guess he could if he had a Dark Energy. Oh, did he just ship the turn?
Yeah, he just passed the turn back.
Oh, I feel so bad for him. That's 10 shorts. Oh, he has a Burbank. That's knockout.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's only doing 170.
Is he only doing?
Yeah, he only has 5 on it, as far as I can see. If he has 1 more energy, he gets it though, right?
Yeah, and he Juniper there.
Yeah, so there's the...
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
There's the knockout. Wow, back and forth game.
All right.
As long as there's nothing we've missed, but it looks like... Yep, yeah. Okay, so there's game 1. Ethan Batson.
Yeah. Pulls out a seemingly impossible game.
Yeah, that was a really back and forth game. I haven't... you rarely see the Blastoise decks kind of struggle like that. You know, back in the day when Blastoise was printed, we would see the decks were a lot less consistent without Black Kyurem, without superior energy retrieval. But nowadays, we usually see them just steamroll if they can manage to get set up. But it's pretty unfortunate.
Bidier doesn't even seem like he plays catchers, so he should be even more consistent.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Bidier's list, but tough game. I'm not sure what the time is like, but it's been kind of a while, but we should have enough time to finish out at least one more game. So we saw round 1 James Good versus Kyle Pelson go to a tie, and we've seen a lot of ties on stream due to the way that the format works now, so hopefully we'll avoid those for the rest of the day, or as long as we can. But so if you had played in this event, what do you think you would have played, Amelia?
Definitely Yveltal again. We just have the mindset that until Darkrai's rotated out of format, I won't stop playing it because it's such an insane card. And Yveltal just made that deck even more insane.
It's fair enough. You grinded into this past year's World Championship in Vancouver with a... Was it just straight Darkrai, or did you play
Absols?
Garbodor in it? Absols?
No,
okay, but just
no Garbodor,
like Jason's World's deck, just the aggressive version?
Yep.
Would you have played it with Garbodor now, or would you just have gone aggressive?
Not for the grinder, mostly due to time limits. But in an ideal world where there were no time limits, yeah.
What about now?
Garbodor.
Like at this if you
at
played
this event,
regionals?
yeah, Garbodor. Yeah. It's the way to go. I played in Washington States without Garbodor and sorely missed it.
Yeah, definitely. That top 8 was full of decks that use abilities, so it's been pretty rough. As always, On the Bubble is brought to you by Top Cut Central. Check out topcutcentral.com. We'll be bringing you the next 6 rounds of this event, as well as the top 8 tomorrow, live from Seattle, Washington, and I will be in Madison, Wisconsin next week with a full stream, probably 14 rounds. The events are pretty big out there, so check out topcutcentral.com. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/OTBPokemon. And Bidier takes a mulligan. Hopefully he can get a Pokemon this time. The unfortunate thing about this is that with every mulligan he takes, and with just however much longer it takes him to set up, he's just wasting more and more time that can lead Ethan to a 1-0 victory.
Yep. So Bidier goes first, of course. Starts Squirtle.
I see the rare candy in his hand. 2 rare candies, looks like.
It's a supporter of some sort. Can't tell which one.
He has a Sycamore, but with 2 or 3 rare candies in his hand, he's not going to want to... Oh, it looks like he's just passing.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think his hand was 3 rare candy, like a water energy, a Sycamore, and some other kind of cards.
Yeah, he must be looking for the Blastoise next turn. Ooh, I don't like that bench sock. But...
Yeah, I don't think that sock's really going to do much for him. I think Ethan might be on the plan of just trying to find Muscle Band Laser here and Burbank, but off of a Shawnee that you need exactly those 3 cards, which is pretty tough. But yeah, Sock doesn't really do much in the matchup, and it's just another...
Don't like things that waste space on the bench.
Definitely. And Ethan does not get the turn 1. Looks like he's going to go ahead and Confuse Ray.
Oh, okay. Forgot Sable, I had 2 attacks.
Yeah, nothing to junk up for there. But does Bidier have the Blastoise in hand?
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, because
I gotta assume that he does.
Yeah, it's so tough because I don't even... Okay, so yeah, so there's the Blastoise.
I mean, discarding water energy and rare candy isn't all that terrible.
That's fine now, I think. Like, I would even Professor's Letter here if I were him. I think he can just go get a Lightning and a Water and put it in the discard pile. I mean, discarding I think there's 2 more rare candies, which is unfortunate if Ethan can knock out the Blastoise ever, but you can't just skip a turn again, you know what I mean? You gotta go for it.
Definitely.
That's not the worst thing in the world. You still have one more in your deck. I don't think that Bidier plays War Turtle. Most decks don't, but that's fine. The second Blastoise is a privilege for sure. Looks like he's going to go and Hydro Pump that Squirtle.
Maybe?
Yeah, I definitely think he's attaching to Retreat there regardless. I'm just one, Yep. Okay, so he did Colorus. Yeah, so 2 rare candies, so.
Yeah. Oh.
Rough for Bidier, but he is getting his discard pile loaded up with some energies if he wants to retreat the Blastoise into anything this turn. But
Yep. It's not super likely the Blastoise will be KO'd, so this isn't too bad. Especially if he retreats and removes energy from it.
Yeah, if he retreats, I think it's basically impossible. If he leaves it active, it does have a possibility. All Ethan will need is 2 energy and a laser. But
he'd also have to find a way to retreat the sock or have an energy switch on Ethan's side. But yeah, that's definitely
retreat the Sableye.
Dangerous if he knocks out the Sableye here.
Oh, right.
Which it looks like he's going to do.
Yeah, it does 90.
Yep.
60 plus 10.
So Ethan sends up the sock. Yeah, he'll be. Oh, there's a sock retreat. So all he needs is a Dark Patch now.
Yeah, just one Dark Patch would do it. He has a Shauna in hand, it looks like, but I think he has some other consideration he's trying to make. There's the end.
Alright, well, if Blastoise is knocked out here, that's very, very bad for Bidier.
It's going to be huge, especially. I mean, he's getting his hand reset, but he had a big hand last turn, so it shouldn't matter too much. And going to 5 with only a Squirtle active, it's almost like they're resetting to turn 1 of the game, except for Ethan has an attacker and has already taken a prize.
Even if he was able to get another Blastoise out with his last rare candy, or Dowsing Machine for rare candy, he's still in a pretty bad position.
Oh yeah, he only has I guess he has 6 outs rare candy, including Skyla, but that actually did come back to bite him, I suppose.
Just a reminder, quick reminder, if you're playing...
Assuming Ethan gets a Dark Patch here.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hope that he does, but I don't.
Slow roll.
Oh, I do see it,
there
okay.
it is. Man. No mercy.
Yeah, and there's the laser in hand as well. I see at least one supporter, so Ethan, I mean, again, as we talked about last game, even after this knockout, Bidier can recover, get a Black Kyurem going, get a Blastoise out, and just really start putting pressure on Ethan. But assuming that he doesn't, again, it's just another misstep that Bidier is making that's really going to...
Yeah, he could have retreated to that Squirtle last turn and just taken the slower game.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to have seen that. Especially because it allows you to dump water, electric, or all of those, right? 3 water and electric in your discard pile. And there's the beach. I don't like using that tool scrapper.
What is he doing?
Oh, and he's getting rid of 2 superior energy retrievals and he has nothing else in his hands. Wait, is it just game then?
This makes me want to hide my eyes.
Yeah, it's just game then, right? Yeah. Oh, and Ethan Batson takes a very strange match over Bidier Jing.
I could feel that one.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate. No plays by Bidier there to end a quick game 2, but we will be back for round 3 pretty soon. We're taking a lunch break. I'm not sure when that is, but I'll post on the Facebook page. Thanks, Amelia, for hanging out and commentating with us, and we'll be bringing you 5 more rounds of action.